Hey, what a world's big prophet jewel of the day. So, what I wanted to discuss is something I call the Hakuna Matata phase. So, I was watching the original Lion King with my daughter, right? The animated version. She thought that the new version was better, so I had to show her what was up. I had to show her the OG. Know what I mean? And I was watching it, and it was just very compelling, but I could tell there was a few lessons that I overlooked when I was a child that I got as an adult. And one was the Hakuna Matata phase when Simba was living in the jungle with Timon and Pumbaa. They were singing songs, made it seem all peaceful and happy, and that there's nothing really more that you could want out of life. You got all the bugs that you could eat and survive off of. You could just have fun with your friends, singing, dancing, all that goodness. But that wasn't his nature. That wasn't where he was supposed to live. He was a king of the jungle. He's supposed to be the king of the jungle. He's a lion, but he's living like prey instead of a predator in nature, right? So what lesson do I get from that? I get that you could be in a place that's very comfortable and that you could live in a cycle where you could survive and you have everything that you need or that you think you need to survive and to continue. But that's not your nature. That's limiting yourself. You don't want to be a lion eating bugs when you could be the king of the jungle, right? So that's what I'm saying. Like, I was in a job where I was comfortable enough to continue. It was paying my bills. I had benefits. People were nice. They had company lunches and stuff. They would treat you nice, but they wouldn't give you a raise, and the economy's getting worse, and it's like, as my life and my expenses are getting higher and the pay's not going up, it just puts me under more pressure. Then I had to get a second job, and then I couldn't get a better job because I wanted to stay at this cozy job, this comfortable job, because it had benefits, and I just pinned myself down to this place that didn't allow me to grow. If there was no growth opportunity, as much as I would try to apply to different jobs, I just didn't get the opportunities for growth. It was just stay there, we need you here, and that's it. So the opportunities, those doors weren't open there. So it's a lot of people stay stuck and were stuck there for years, and I was there for a few years, and that cycle just could have kept continuing. But I decided that I can't stay there. I can't afford to stay there, and I have to find something else. So I went into a different industry, right? But that's what it takes. Sometimes it might be the religion, not religion. It might be a relationship. Maybe it is religion, but it might be a relationship that's holding you back. It might be a friendship that's holding you back. It might be an environment where you live that might be holding you back. Maybe you're living somewhere just because it's comfortable and because or the rent is a certain amount or whatever. You're living somewhere and you're in a cycle that's not helping you, an environment that's not helping you, a relationship or whatever that's not allowing you to grow. It's keeping you at the same level. So are you in your Hakuna Matata phase? Are you singing like there ain't no worries for the rest of my days? Or are you aspiring for growth? Because that's what life is all about. Like I spoke with my friend, and she was just telling me, like, she didn't realize how much time of your life goes to your career. She had a good job. She was getting paid pretty well. She was in a management role, but she was depressed. She was surrounded by people that were just had a bad mentality. The career she was surrounded, the clients, they were negative people. She was doing like bill collecting and all this stuff, and it was just like all their attitudes over years compounded onto her. It's like, you gotta be aware of 8 hours a day of your waking life. 8 hours of, let's say you're awake for 16 hours. That doesn't count the commute. That doesn't count decompressing after work. That doesn't account for kids or errands or whatever. Like, how much of your waking life are you spending at a place where you're surrounded by negative attitudes or negative people or just not a fulfilling job that doesn't have an opportunity, that just drains you. It sucks you out of the life out of you, and then she switched her job. 2 months later, she's a completely different person. Her attitude is amazing. She's like, this is the happiest I've seen her in years. In 2 months, her whole life, she's a different person. So it just goes to show, it's like when someone is in a situation where they have opportunity, where they have room for growth, where they feel fulfilled, where they feel free, to become who they want to be. That's the difference between a job where you're in this survival cycle, or a career where you're in this survival cycle, or an environment, or a relationship, or whatever, like, it's all about growth and opportunity. Put yourself in a situation where you could have more opportunities for growth, for freedom. And that's what we all want out of life, We all deserve freedom in life. And that's all that matters, It's like, don't corner yourself or pin yourself down into a situation that limits you. And it might be a comfortable situation, but does it offer you growth and freedom and opportunity? That's something you have to consider. Or don't. Just stay stuck where you're at and do it for years. But I know there's a lot of people that regret staying in one spot for many, many years, for decades. They wish they could have done something else. So if you're in an environment, and that's basically what it boils down to, an environment where it's draining you, think about that. Your body tells you, your energy tells you the real answer, the truth. So just think about that. Hakuna Matata phase. Nothing but peace and love.